Orientation Part 4, Completing Academics. This video includes NCM's academic requirements, modules, course syllabi, including title, credit value, course descriptions, learning activities, and learning objectives, accessing learning resources, how to complete an NCM academic course, teaching sessions, evaluation methods, and documenting completion. NCM's ASM courses are divided into 8 modules. These include 80 credits in 60 courses. Modules 1, 2, and 8 are primarily focused on general education topics. Modules 3 to 7 are midwifery focused. Please note that prerequisite course requirements listed in modules may be completed concurrently with enrollment in NCM but are not offered by NCM. Module 1 is entitled Math and Human Life Science. It's 12 credit hours. It includes anatomy and physiology, fetal development, genetic screening, applied microbiology, and math. California students must complete an additional 4 credits, including chemistry and child growth and development. Module 2 is Critical Thinking and Psychosocial Issues for 14 credit hours. It includes communication and counseling, cultural issues, human sexuality, perinatal education including lactation, and writing. Module 3 is the first of the midwifery modules. So Module 3 is Midwifery Modules 300 Antepartum Management for 6 credit hours. It includes basic skills, risk screening, physical assessment, provision of care, complications, pharmacology, nutrition, diagnostic lab tests and procedures, observation and charting, and CPR. 20. Intrapartum Management for 6 credit hours, including basic skills, risk screening, physical assessment, provision of care, complications, pharmacology, diagnostic lab tests and procedures, observation and charting, and IV therapy. Module 5 is MW340, Postpartum Management for 6 credit hours, including basic skills, risk screening, physical assessment, provision of care, complications, pharmacology, diagnostic lab tests and procedures, and observation and charting. Module 6 is MW360, Newborn Management for 6 credit hours, including basic skills, risk screening, physical assessment, complications, provision of care, pharmacology, diagnostic lab tests and procedures, observation and charting, and NRP. Module 7 is MW380, Well Woman, Reproductive Health Care, 6 credit hours. It includes risk screening, physical assessment, provision of care, diagnostic lab tests and procedures, family planning, pharmacology, and observation and charting. Module 8 is Professional Issues for 24 credit hours. It includes history of midwifery, ethics for biomedical, laws and regs, protocols, community health, out-of-hospital birth, business and professional communications, statistics, and midwifery literature and art. To begin a course, first choose a course, then download the course syllabus from NCM's website. You can see on NCM's website, if you go to the ASM tab and scroll down to Academic Syllabi, you'll find a list of all the courses. Each course syllabus is available in PDF or doc format. Some students prefer to download the doc version so that they can type their answers directly into the course syllabus. Each course syllabus is set up the same way. It'll include the title, the number of credits for the course description, learning objectives, learning activities, learning resources, and evaluation methods. The module it is in, the course number, and the area of study. For example, Module 3 is the module number, MW is the topic of midwifery, 300 is the course number, AP means antepartum, and the course name is risk screening. Credit value. The credit value for the course tells how much the course is worth and how long the course will take to complete, approximately. Each NCM credit equals approximately 15 hours of formal time and another 30 hours of informal or homework time. As we are competency-based learning, the most important thing is not how long it takes a student to complete a course, but how well the information is grasped. The learning activities tell the student what activities she or he will need to do to complete the course. There are several common learning activities required by most of NCM's courses. Many NCM courses may include additional learning activities. These will include student reading the appropriate section from the learning materials or resources, student answering the questions listed in the learning objectives by researching the learning materials or resources for the course and correctly citing the sources and page number for each of the answers. The student will present the answers to the questions listed in the learning objectives for review by the preceptor. The student will then participate in preceptor elaboration discussion of the learning objectives, where the preceptor ties the learning objective into actual midwifery practice or clinical practice. And E, in the case that required texts are more than 5 years old, the student must additionally research, prepare, and present a summary of current best midwifery practices or care appropriate to the topic of the course from a current journal article of study less than 5 years old. We have resources and links to many journals that can be accessed for free on our resources page on the website. Tell us where the information asked for in the learning objectives can be found by the student. NCM requires that the students buy or rent or borrow the textbooks. NCM does not provide them. NCM lists the cost of the complete set of required textbooks in new or used form on the NCM fees page. NCM's website also has a resource finder on the main menu. Click on Resources and then Library, or you can go to the following link. This displays NCM's ASM book list, if the book is available in a nearby library, and also gives links to buy it used or new online. We also have resources for advanced scholarship. We've compiled an extensive set of resource links on our resource page with access to numerous free journal articles. The learning objectives of a course tell the student and preceptor what the student will be able to do at the end of the course. For example, by the end of this course, the student will be able to name the most important skill a midwife can have to prevent the spread of disease and germs and give your rationale. Discuss indications for hand washing in a clinical setting. Discuss the principles of universal standard precautions. Name at least 4 bodily fluids around which midwives must use universal precautions. So for each of the learning objectives, you could read before it, by the end of this course, I will be able to, and then the learning objective. Describe the OSHA regulation regarding containment of contaminated sharps, for example. The student answers the learning objective questions on the course syllabus. Each answer should A, reflect current best practices in midwifery care, B, be in the student's own words or paraphrase from the text, minimal but enough to show comprehension, and C, include the resource and page number where the answer was found. This creates a sort of answer key for when you're presenting it to your preceptor. To a learning objective, the student presents this to the preceptor or instructor. The preceptor then elaborates on the topic and ties the information into actual clinical practice. For example, when the preceptor uses or has used it, when the student has used or seen it, and when she will or use it or will see it either within apprenticeship or in the future. The preceptor and student teaching sessions can be accomplished in a variety of ways, as is most useful to both preceptor and student. For example, a student and preceptor could meet for 15 to 20-minute micro sessions before or after clinic several times per week, in which only a few learning objectives are discussed or evaluated. Or a 1 to 2 hour classroom session once a week in which many learning objectives are discussed and evaluated. Or they could do full day or multi-day sessions in which multiple courses are completed. In order to ensure the student's understanding of the course topic and make sure that it's current and up to date with best practices, if the resource used is older than 5 years, then the student must research the course topic and write a short summary of a journal article. Please see the writing rubrics on NCM's preceptor resource page to see how this should be accomplished and what points the student has to meet. All NCM academic courses include both formative evaluations to aid in learning, such as readings, answering questions, researching specific issues, writing summaries, presentations, discussions, and many more, and summative evaluations to test achievement of required competencies, including midterm and final exams, essays and learning objective answers, and writing papers. Each course includes tests written in the style of the NARM exam. The test may not be used to test out of a course or in lieu of completing the course assignments and mastering the competencies required by that course. Documentation of completion. Documenting the student's completion of academic courses should be done immediately. If the learning objectives are presented over several sessions, then the individual learning objectives should be signed off individually as soon as they are completed. The final grade is given once the student has completed all learning objectives and the final exam. The minimum passing grade on a course is 80%. The final passing grade and trimester of completion are entered on the student's grade sheet, which is part of the end of trimester submission to NCM. Thank you for completing the academics part of the orientation. To continue with orientation, watch additional sections of the NCM Student Orientation series or contact our office.